Hello and welcome back to the Lecompton Pulse. I'm Josh Woodward, Superintendent of Schools at Lecompton. And today's episode covers an exciting and important opportunity for our community, specifically the future of the Lecompton Community Library. We are joined today by two current library board members, Mary Guffey and Alma Heckler. Welcome to the Pulse, Mary and Alma. To begin, would you two share a bit about the history of our community library and how it originally came to be?
It originally started with a lady called Beverly Warren, who has been on our board most all the time. She started it in her garage, and then when she outgrew that, they moved it to the grocery store over at Perry. And then when that grocery store closed, they were frantic, and they looked around and they found out that Northeast Kansas Educational Services, who rented this building, they offered us the old band classroom to have our library. And so we've been there ever since.
All right. So you both have played a key part in keeping the library going on a volunteer-led capacity. What are some of the challenges you face in keeping our community library open?
Lack of funds, it is a big part of the problem, because currently we're only able to be open 15 hours because we're relying entirely on volunteer work, volunteers to run it.
Volunteers and, getting more volunteers on board is probably important, even going forward. So we appreciate that. But
so are there certain programs or services that you wish you could offer but simply don't because you don't have the resources or the thing? What are things that we could, if we had more funds, we could do?
Well, we'd keep the library open more hours. We would also probably use some of the money to hire a district or a librarian that could manage a lot of the things that we as a board do and probably need to turn over to somebody else. The other thing is that we could get more books. We could get improve the facility. We could also have more programs that we would like to see happen.
It would be nice to be able to have like a story hour every week, but we just don't have the people to manage that and to keep it going. Part of getting funded would mean that we would be then eligible to get a grant that would pay for more staffing. Okay. So then we could be open 40 hours a week instead of 15.
Right. Okay.
This would also make us eligible for other grants, because we would be the entity that could participate in the grant process.
So correct me if I'm wrong, kind of going off script of what we talked about before we started this, but this is the library is Lecompton community. As I recall, Lecompton came together. So
yes.
They used the school district facility here at the new district office, but you guys don't own the property. We've got a kind of an agreement that we're working, and there's obviously, when you talk about part of the agreement is you guys take care of the tiles in that room, and if you want certain equipment, you purchase it yourself. The school district is not covering that. So having access to grants or potentially this particular program we're introducing, or this opportunity we're introducing to our constituents, is going to help with all those things and those needs that you guys need. So as we move forward, unfortunately, there may be a path forward, an opportunity to expand hours, increase programming by becoming what's a public state library. So for our viewers who may be unfamiliar, there are 3 different formats of local libraries. Can you explain the difference between the 3?
Okay. There's a city, which is sort of self-explanatory. There's a township, also pretty much self-explanatory. And there's a district library. We want to become a district library because it gives us the opportunity to serve both sides of the river, Lecompton Township, and Perry Township, and Grantville, and anything else in the, pretty much everything else in the school district.
So basically it sounds like it's a school district library, but it's not. There's no funding coming from the school district. It's just based on the boundaries of the school.
Correct.
And we don't want our constituents or patrons of the community confuse the two. So
it's a statutory definition under the statutes.
Gotcha.
Statutes.
Yeah, very good. So a huge advantage of having a library recognized by the state is access to pay tax dollars our community is already paying through property tax, yet our library doesn't receive any of those tax dollars. Explain why that is, or what how this status could change for us.
Well, all the money from your tax dollars goes into the Northeast Kansas Library Services, all the property taxes from this area. They are the regional library system. And so we have several other libraries that are recognized and get those property tax dollars in Jefferson County. But we, being an all-volunteer library, do not get that money. So it doesn't come back home. And that's our intent, is to get that money and bring it home. It's sitting there. It's being used for other entities, other libraries. We want to bring it to this area.
So as I'm understanding you, property tax, our patrons are already paying is going elsewhere. We just want to keep it home. They're going to pay it regardless.
Right.
That's right.
So we just want to keep it home and to have our patrons benefit from it. So walk us through the process of earning certification to become a state public library. What's the first step that we're in process? I know it's kind of an investigative process right now, but tell us what we know so far.
Well, we've been through the investigative process. We are now in the process of putting together a petition. We're working with an attorney in Lawrence, and because we had to get that kind of special help. And we've got it just about ready. And once we get that petition, we're going to have to get signatures of voters from both sides of the river, approximately 1,000 on each side.
Okay.
And once we get all of those signatures on that petition, then it goes back to the county clerk's office. And it doesn't go through the county clerk's office here, even though they're the home clerk, really, for this, for this county and for this library, since it will be located on the Perry side. But they have been through this process before, and they are willing to help out with it. So they will review that. Then it will go to both Jefferson County and Douglas County councilors. They will review it. If it's approved, it goes on the November ballot. And then, so our first step is getting that petition done.
Right.
And then after that, we may come back and ask you to help us with getting up and up.
Yeah, you bet. So we're talking, just to make sure our viewers know, we're talking 1,000 individuals south of the river in Douglas County. Eligible voters that need to sign it. 1,000 individuals or patrons north of the river in our district that are eligible voters to sign it. So roughly 2,000 in order to put this on the ballot in November. And then hopefully by 2026, there's soon after, we'll have some funds rolling in that we're already paying and using to support our own library. So there is a deadline on getting the signatures, correct?
Yes, September 1st.
September 1st. And the process, I know we have some places identified where people can go to add their name to the signature. Can you tell us about the ones that you pretty confident you have set up?
At the district office right here, they said at the front they would keep have a petition for people to sign. We're also going to talk to the bank here in Perry. We're going to talk to the city offices in Lecompton and Perry to see if they would handle that for us as well. Plus, we'll be at as many public events as we possibly can to get something signed. The Farm to Fork is having their June 28th event, and we'll have a table there for people to sign.
So one question I thought of as I'm listening to you talk, do the Jefferson County folks need to only sign in here at the district office since we're in Perry, or can they go to either side, or do we know that yet?
I assume both petitions available. And so they'll just have to make sure they sign the correct petition.
Okay, so Jefferson County should be on the Jefferson County signature page. Right, okay, very good. So if district patrons value access to books, educational, and early childhood programs, reliable internet, and a true community space, we encourage them to sign this petition and help us move forward towards a full-time, full-service library that we can pay for already with funds we're already paying through property tax, but using elsewhere. I keep reiterating that, but I want to make sure everybody knows it's not through tax. It's something we're already paying, and we just want to keep it home and have our patrons benefit. So in closing, do either of you have anything else you want to add?
Other than let's bring those property taxes home.
That's right.
And put them to service here.
That's right. Good point. So if you have any questions, please stop by the Perry Lecompton Community Library. It's located right behind the district office here in Perry. Of course, the new district office is what we used to call the Perry Middle School up until around 2003-ish, 2004 when we built our new middle school. So they are located behind that, but you're sure welcome to come in the front door of the district office, and we'll lead you to the library if you haven't been there. Until next time, thanks for turning in to the Perry Lecompton Pulse.